Fox Carolina, the Midday News.
Well, welcome back to the Midday News on Fox Carolina. We are visiting the Scottish Highlands, and you don't even have to hop on a plane. Scottish musician Grieger is making his way to South Carolina, bringing the uniqueness of the sounds of the Gaelic language. And joining us right now is Grieger himself. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for welcoming me.
Of course. So how did you first get started in music?
Well, it all goes back to, I suppose, my family. My father's family have been playing bagpipes for several generations, like a couple of hundred years or something like that. And so I was pretty much born, just into bagpiping and traditional Scottish music. I started on the Highland bagpipes when I was like 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty young, And then from then on in, I started really, I suppose, studying the music a little bit more deeply about my own roots in the tradition of the Scottish Highlands. And I also learned how to play the guitar when I was in my teens, and of course ended up branching into things like rock and blues and eventually jazz and soul and all that kind of thing. So I got the opportunity to have this broad, eclectic mix of a lot of music from all over the world. I've been involved with African musicians over the years as well, and musicians from all different backgrounds. And I suppose I'm in a very fortunate position to be able to come from a very deep-rooted tradition, which is so rooted in place and people and ancestry and all that kind of thing, and take that influence and share it with the world and put it into different unusual and unexpected contexts.
Yeah, absolutely. You've learned and done a whole lot in your career. And one thing, you are connected to the TV series Outlander. Tell us all about that.
Well, I first got involved in Outlander way back in 2016 on season 2, when I was asked to perform a song, an authentic Scottish Gaelic song that was actually written during the time depicted in the series, during the Jacobite Rising of 1745. And I performed that, and I got to know the show's composer, Bear McCreary, and developed a relationship with Bear, where if he needed anything to do with Gaelic or anything kind of authentic to the time, he would come to me, and it just went from strength to strength from there. Eventually, after singing another couple of seasons after that, I ended up singing the theme song for the series. That was in season 6, along with Bear's wife Raya Yarborough, who had sang the theme song previously in previous seasons. And also, I mean, we fought long and hard, Bear and I, to get it through with the producers, but we eventually managed to get a Scottish Gaelic version of the theme song for Outlander in season 6 as well, which I was absolutely delighted with, because part of my mission really is to promote this authentic Scottish Gaelic culture that I come from, that you guys, that the world doesn't really get the opportunity to share in that often. So yeah, that was a big win. And then I went on in this last season, season 7. They were kind of looking for a song that related to the narrative of the latest chapter, if you like, of the series. And it actually takes place in North Carolina, part of it because of the part of the arc of the story, as it follows this lead protagonist, Jamie, who's one of the Clan Fraser, and they end up, like many Highland Scots did at the time, emigrating to North Carolina. They were escaping persecution in Scotland after the Jacobite Rising and looking for a new life. Often they were actually forcibly removed. The series doesn't actually go that deep into that side of it, but they were looking for something that related to the arc of that story, and so I was able to provide the series with a Scottish Gaelic song called Hamiski Knocker, which is a bit of a mouthful for non-Gaelic speakers. It was written by Ian Machboroughy, who was a McCrae from the West Highlands of Scotland, and it was actually written in North Carolina during the Revolutionary War. And I had the opportunity to perform that song in the mid-season finale, and I'm appearing on the most recent soundtrack along with the late Sinead O'Connor, who sang the theme song for this most recent season. So it's been a really exciting journey of getting to share my culture with the world in the context of Outlander, which touches upon the authentic history of my ancestors and my people.
Well, you are going to get to continue to share your ancestry here in South Carolina. I know you're performing at the Newberry Opera House next week. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're interested in seeing Grieger perform at the Newberry Opera House, that's going to happen April 27th at 8 p.m. Tickets start at $45. Of course, for more information, you can head to our website. That is foxcarolina.com.
And now.